Hi, hey, y'all. What's up? Sorry, let me fix this for you guys. Welcome in, Shatsky. We are doing the April thing. I wanted to just kind of keep plowing through and make sure that we get everybody some love and attention for this powerful, energetic time. We have 3 signs left. I go by the Holy Cow. Thank you so much for being here. Obviously, you know who you are before I do. I'm just here, like I said, to really just channel a very current message for where each of the zodiac signs are in their evolution. Thank you guys just being so patient. I know it's like been such a journey these last few days as I've been like spreading these out. Obviously you can tell they're much like more substantial in length, so I'm just like super excited to just jump right in and see who it is. It's always the funnest part to see. I have a very specific energy that I'm in right now, so I'm really excited to see what collective is on that at this moment. Let's see. Who is up next? Oh my god, I'm screaming. Oh my god, Virgo. Oh my god, Virgo. I'm so excited to do your reading right now. That's so accurate. Okay, so good. Hi, Virgo. Welcome in. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for just always... You know, Virgo, I really appreciate you because right now I think it's your energy. It's my North Node that's actually making me really set great boundaries. And so I think this is a really good conversation because I think this reading is going to really revolve around that. Virgo, you really represent the collective 6th house. And I think right now, in order for us to kind of really like pioneer and fight this revolution that's real, we have to really be like kind of rigorous in like really reclaiming our day-to-day lives. Because capitalism just inflates everything. And so I've just kind of been like all day just being like, God, capitalism just fucking sucks, dude. You know, because everybody just thinks everything is way more than it actually is. Like people can't even be like, I like your art without you fucking tweaking and being insane because you think that they want to be a slave to you or something. So I've been really pulling on my North Node, and I've been really trying to make sure that I stay strong in my Virgo energy and like keep good boundaries and good, you know, daily routines and habits, and just kind of keep up the consistency. And like I try to really not inflate what the studio does. I really try to keep it on our, you know, to our very consistent, same sort of no production value type of thing, so that people can feel some sort of semblance of healing. And I feel like it's really been showing. I feel like I've had a lot of really amazing people that I again, surprises to me, just kind of God's plan, that just kind of have really been healed by my natural, you know, essence, and by the way that I'm very clearly defined by who I am right now. And so I really want to make this message about serving those individuals, those of you who really appreciate what I do here, who are not looking to change it, who actually believe that this is the route to a sustainable future. I'm not the only person that has a plan for the future. You can align to whatever future you want to see, but if you believe in this sort of radical, you know, new teaching that I pioneer here, this is the only place you can find it. So I'm so grateful that you're with me, Virgo. But I'm feeling really good, and I'm feeling really balanced actually, and I'm feeling really happy, and I'm not really feeling super emotionally charged about anything. I just feel really, really passionate at this moment about really reiterating all those really healthy boundaries. I think that's another thing for you. Maybe the pre-message is like, you've gotten so much like practice in like being at your boundaries and understanding that dynamic, that at this time, you, whether you're there or not, you would really understand that like, oh, I see why God was giving me all those initiations, because I could have been someone who was really strong and solid in those when it really counted, if I was really taking those opportunities for growth as what they were. So let's see what we've got, Virgo. I'm so excited to be chatting with you guys. I feel like we have, so I want to really dive into y'all's personal vibes. I feel like Wheel of Fortune vibes. Okay, Virgo, come on. Virgo. Okay, so off top, first card, this is crazy. First card is Ace of Cups. Virgo, the ball is in your motherfucking court, okay? So this is basically a conversation of when God gives us a new renewal, we need to clock what kind of renewal we're receiving. For in your case, Virgo, it's an Ace of Cups coming down from the divine. You don't think everybody knows you got an Ace of Cups? You don't think this is visible on astral? It is. So everyone around you, and yourself included, knows that it's your time for this. God is coming out, and it's time for you to be renewed. I just want you to be very, very aware, Virgo, that God is trying to give you a renewal that will change the trajectory of what you're doing. Because what is this renewal? This is a renewal that can constantly fill up your spirit, man, your spirit, the emotional, intuitive, spirited side of you, right? And so this card really came out like this, which means what you need to be able to do is, so it seems like the initial, like right now in April, it's like there is something that in terms of your renewal, you need to know where your renewal does not go. And there's a very specific conversation that I want to say, Virgo, that's happening like in this current heart of this energy, because you had the Ace of Cups coming out like this with the King of Pentacles. Okay, huge conversation, because this is a very subtle and a very nuanced way of discerning. This isn't saying no to someone because it's beef, it's tension, it's crazy. No, this is not that cycle, Virgo. This is not where it has to be that something is broken or that somebody's fucked up or that it's somebody's fault that this is no longer being offered. This is Virgo saying, this cup that God has given me, the only people that I can offer it to would be people that are of the same element, things that are of this kind. So basically, Virgo, you are getting out of a cycle where you used to offer your Ace of Cups to a King of Pentacles. So this is uneven partnerships, right? So this would be like Virgo being like placed in a role. So someone else is the provider and you took the role of like, oh, I'll just provide all the emotional balance and the you know, the care and and so it's like, this was like you severing, in the past it would have been like you severing off, like someone else provides and I just do the intuitive thing. But then what the issue with that is several things. It has to do with the actual ability. There's no mirroring here. This is just two completely different elements. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing really, there's no shared commonality. So then you really do just go into a very choppy, hectic, you know. And again, I feel like, Virgo, I wanted to come on here and do this reading because it's like it's pretty late. Like, you know, I worked all day today. I worked a lot today. And I came home and I just, you know, I felt this wind, but I feel like it was like so current what was going on for me. And I feel like all the things that Spirit was bringing up for me were about like whoever like the zodiac sign was going to be, and it's you, Virgo. But I think it's about the purity of what you are offering. And this is like very super simple. It's like right now, Virgo, what you're on is like, you need to find, you're waiting on the renewal that actually answers what you're looking for. And I think that was the only problem. This isn't about whose fault it is. This isn't about this and that. This isn't even about a criticism of this. We really can't speak to what this King of Pentacles is on and why they want to pull up to Virgo's shot. But you do need to be aware that it's like, you need to stand strong enough to be like, I cannot offer you this because you see me as an Ace of Cups and you know that an Ace of Cups, there's nothing I can do for you because my renewal, I also just kind of feel like, Virgo, there's a lot of people that want to hold you, but you're not for them. It's not for you. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's like, this is not for you. This is not your cup to drink out of. And I think you're going to be having to make a decision like right now. That's like, I'm sorry, this cup is for someone else. You might want to go find an Ace of Pentacles if you're a King of Pentacles, because that seems like more what's in alignment to you. But Virgo is like, no, this Ace of Cups, this is it. And this is what strengthens it. The reason you get the renewal is actually because the fact that I think the reason this Ace of Cups finally can come to you is because there was like a discernment test. You had to be able to say no to something that is actually misaligned. And I think it had to do with this evolution of self. The more you got very clear on who you are, especially this work that we've been doing together the last few years, I think you came into the understanding of like what your nature is. You're a feminine principle. That's a big thing too. But I just feel like, again, Virgo, I just feel like there is something to be said about the sustainability of this. I think there's a big issue and a discrepancy too with like Virgo is pretty much like responsible right now. You are literally responsible for like the line in the sand that we draw for nature, for this planet, about sustainability. I'm gonna use a great example. My husband today. It's exactly what happened to him, and he has a Virgo Mars, so this could be very aligned. But the hypothetical of the situation is like, there was this job opportunity that he had went for like damn near almost 2 months ago, like a long time ago, like a while ago, right? And you know, the guy and the guy's like, yeah, I'll get back to you guys. I'll let you know by Monday. And you know, he's like, and he tried to, you know, he sat in Dennis's face and tried to shoot the shit and be like, yeah, this is so great, right? He said, but you'll know by Monday. So we never hear from anything for Monday. So what we can assume is that like, okay, so he went with someone else because obviously I guess there was something better for the gig, right? Tell me why today, Virgo, the homeboy gonna follow back up with Dennis, and he's so embarrassed and so falling back, and it's so kind of like the same way that like somebody like in a retrograde might come back, where he's just like, hey man, so if you want to just go ahead and get started and, you know, prep and just go ahead and jump right in to what we talked about, knowing damn well, mind you, that basically, so what is this, a job offer? So then you need to tell the full truth. So it sounds like you went with something, it fell through, now you got to fall back on what you should have gone with the whole time, and you're hoping that what Virgo is going to be where
ready and down for...
Even if, and so Virgo, here's my advice to you. Even if you are free and available, the answer is fuck no. The answer is fuck no.
That's exactly it.
Because you got to use your discernment to see why that misaligned in the first place. If somebody went over there and it was, you wasn't good enough in the first place, Virgo, it's like, keep it, brother. Keep the train of thought, keep the fucking whatever logic, and go find whatever the fuck is.
Whatever employee you went with didn't work, and now you like.
Exactly. Because basically, obviously, we can tell in that situation, there's an employee that he fully went with, committed to, and then it's been almost 2 months. Employee probably came back, probably already quit, and now you want to come back to a real one? Because now it's like, oh wait, I had a real pulse on that. No. That Virgo, this is about letting someone's karma be their karma. One. That's what that's about. It's because you gotta let that. It's like, no, because that's not how life really works. And this isn't petty laboots. This is actually just because you actually did get information from that though. Because Dennis, when he went back, he was like, well, no, because that job too was just like a contract job, which is not really fitting Dennis's needs at all for what he's asking for, because we don't need to work. We are going to work for spiritual development.
What it was, I applied, like I
right.
would have totally been open.
But he wouldn't have been because it wasn't actually. Right, you get what I'm saying? But that's the whole thing. It's like what me and Dennis are going for to our job. That's why I told him. I said, you take your time, because what we're doing right now is basically like character development. Like we're going to find places that can actually help us with things we have to develop in ourselves. It isn't even about a dollar amount. It's like, if I need to work on managing other people, I'm gonna go find a place where I can comfortably manage that actually like aligns with me, and that's what I'm gonna do. You know, whatever Dennis is like special skills that he wants to work on right now, that's what he's really more looking for though. It's not even about the pay or the contract or like the ego of what it does. It's like he wants to just make sure that he's gonna spend his time doing something that he can leave with a transferable skill or some sort of, you know. And so that's what I feel, Virgo, because what Dennis really said is like he has a bunch of other offers now. They're new offers, and in comparison, the new offers really already spoke to his spirit, because they didn't look at him materially. Because the reason that man, the first job didn't hit him up, probably had something to do with the material. Because Dennis was really down to do that. Dennis would have done that job every single day if he called him back. Dennis was under the impression that it was great. Dennis left that interview thinking like, oh, I think this guy like liked me a lot. The whole time he stood him up. You get what I'm saying? So that's the whole frequency here. It's like the frequency of like, okay, my Ace of Cups though, it's like, but I can't offer this to you because what the fuck are you gonna do for me? Because you understand, if this is an Ace of Cups, this is the first step. So you gotta look, Virgo, I really mean to say this. You got to look at who's offering you to go where you want to end up, because that's a huge thing for me right now. I'm in high demand right now. A lot of bitches are about to die, so a lot of bitches need spiritual help right now. That's great. I got a lot of people who pull on me, but I have a very strong boundary about like who's supposed to be in my personal like Alexis fucking life, and who just like needs Tethered Studios. I will never turn my back on any fucking person who needs Tethered Studios or the word of God. I will always be a vessel for that. That's God always replenishes me to serve. I can do that. I don't have an ego, that's fine. But in terms of my personal life, right now I am very much doing a lot of this, Virgo, where it's like, you know, I want a certain type of fulfillment. At the end of the cup suite, you want to be a King of Cups or a Queen of Cups. That's what you're really looking for right now. That means you are looking to really develop out the spiritedness of your life. You're not, Virgo, I feel like you've mastered this. I feel like that's what's so tired about it. I think that's why you're not interested in the fucking Pentacles anymore, because it's just like, I'm so tired of being stale Virgo. I'm so tired of everybody just thinking that I'm just doing the accounting and the 6th house thing. I'm just so tired of everybody just thinking like the most satisfying, like I think that you just kind of been in a lot of partnerships where like they only want to satisfy the material, or maybe you're just not struggling to survive, you know, but there's just nothing to do with how you feel about your life, you know. And this is you finally putting a stop to it and literally saying like, actually, to this King of Pentacles, no more, because it's my spiritual health that's still stunted at the Ace of Cups. Like I also just feel like somebody else is, it's just like uneven, because it's like you get to develop yourself all the way to the kingdom and I'm still at the Ace, and it's like upside down, because Virgo, I feel like you still haven't picked up the Ace God gave you a long ass time ago to like pick up and develop. It's yours to develop that. And I feel like I'm having that awareness, you know, being stuck on stupid and spending too much time on fucking Kings of Pentacles when I don't even need that. That's why I feel like a lot of people right now, like, I'm sorry, like, to say it, but it's like, I don't need what you have. I already have what I want materially. And I think the only way that some of these King of Pentacles could play me in the past is when I was like going through my homeless era, because like I've always like, my life's always been abundant. I'm like, no, there's nothing materially that I haven't seen that I should see. Like I'm a little random black nigger girl from like random like the hood. Like there was no reason for me to make it out of that. And so like all the experiences that I've had, like have already proven that I've already received and held and touched and seen and been in the fucking mansions. I've lived a crazy life. I've seen pretty much any type of person that you could have possibly wanted to see and experience. And so it's for me, I think that after coming out of like that actual housing insecurity that I was going through during my like voluntary onset Saturn return, I was just like, yeah, it's not material stuff that I'm looking for. I'm actually looking for spiritual stuff. I'm actually making a bandito of spirited guys who like are actually like me. I learned a lot about my personality, Virgo. I'm truly a shaman type. I'm truly a monk type. I'm truly the type of bitch that's like, ninth house stellium, let's own nothing. Let's just fucking vibe. I don't even care, you know, and I don't care what people think about that because it's my soul's evolution that I've got to work on in this lifetime. So it really doesn't matter. But I just feel like there's just like a big refutal of how like, yeah, but if I'm looking for spirit and I'm only over identifying with material, that's where this is where it's got to start. So I think the other thing is this King of Pentacles could be taking advantage of your new beginning. I think somebody sees that God is renewing you and wants to fucking fall back, kind of like homeboy for Dennis's job. It's like wants to fall back because I think it's very obvious whenever God comes down and gives somebody and bestows somebody something special. But I also feel like this is God being very clear to your ops. Like God is also working through you, Virgo. So like you might feel like feelings where you feel called to like set boundaries or really like, you know, be like, no thank you. But just know that you should facilitate that, because if you don't do it, God's gonna find a way either way to tell this King of Pentacles like, nope, this isn't for you. This isn't for you. Don't get carried away. God is working through you right now, Virgo, to do that. Because I think it's just a huge Virgo thing right now where it's just like, no, you know damn well that this cup needs to go and needs to be nurtured in the realm of cups. If it goes to you, you just drink my cup. Then I don't develop. And we can't let selfishness rule your development anymore, Virgo. You have to be able to put a stand up and be like, no, I need to be able to develop myself. I can't give my new beginning again, because I just don't feel like if you give this, if you don't have the courage right now, Virgo, to break this straight up, I think you won't be getting another one of these from God. I'm so serious. You really need to take seriously how much it's like you need to like actually stop and break the cycle of like giving this. It's not just for someone to drink. This is like giving somebody a cup of Powerade and being like, you know, that's not what your chalice is for. Virgo! Do you want to know why you need to say no to that King of Pentacles? That's not because, Virgo, there's something that wants to chunk a dunk in your cup, brother. That's what's crossing you. Ace of Wands? You're about to be matched up with someone that is, there's like a compatibility. There's like a simpatico. There's like a, do you get what I'm saying? Because like I said, there's a couple issues with why you didn't, this was in the reverse to that King of Pentacles. First of all, the King of Pentacles doesn't have a renewal. You are in a renewal space. If anything, you need to go find people who are also at that stage where they're getting a renewal. Because this is complementary. You said no to something else, but it's because you know there is something else that is, you've already aligned to this. I feel like that King of Pentacles, that old, it's just like an old, decrepit, like sturdy, old cycle energy that comes back around. And it does it because and you see it wants to block you from having this. It wants to block you from having this. But you need to understand, when you find a match that's like this, that's actually also being given a brand new start by God, it's gonna mean so much more to you, Virgo, to go with that Ace of Wands instead of the King of Pentacles. Because you're just in a completely, Virgo, I think you represent God's renewal. I feel like the thing that you're attracting in also represents God's magic, right? You need to be in that same disposition. Because I feel like too, these people, you can introduce your spiritual truth to this Ace of Wands and your heart won't bleed. I feel like that King of Pentacles, that'll leave your fucking shit dripping out, bitch. I'm not kidding with you. I think you've let your heart bleed open by this just unsustainable thing. But I think it's just because it's like, Virgo, you've got to make sure, because look, I don't want you to not be open for this. I think if you're too busy focused on the King of Pentacles, you're not going to realize how big and how magnitude, like how much you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like a big message of this is like, Virgo, I want you to so desperately come back into your energy. I want you to come back into yourself. Because fucking worried about these bitches for what? For what? I think you really find, and I think that's a big thing. I was just telling Dennis this. I was like, you know, I was talking about capitalism, but there's a lot of people for me that are like agents of capitalism. And I just can't stand being around them because it's just like, oh my God, I can't even tell you girls anything. I can't even be like, I like your art without you girls just like fucking think I want to be a slave for real. You know what I mean? Like it's like, what? Like none of this stuff is that serious, you know? Making a good project is just not that serious. It's just like hard for me to even just talk right now. I feel like I can fucking breathe right now in certain ways with these girls. But Virgo, it's like you are just, I mean, man, this is so, It is so incredible right now for you to be at this position, but I really feel the need to reiterate to you. It's like, it is foundational for you to be like, this renewal cannot go to people who don't have renewals and just like need stimulation. It's too big of a deal for you. Not to mention, there's another equal force that's also like really attracted and aligned. You know, I'm telling you, it's like really like aligned. Like it's almost like a missing puzzle piece. And I don't want you to be able, I don't want, when you are dealing with people that like, places and things, Virgo, that like, it just kind of creates a taker dynamic because they can't do anything for you, you know, at a spiritual level. You might really downplay just how big of a deal it is for someone else or something else to really have been and shown up in integrity. And I just feel that way. I was just, like I said, I was telling Dennis, I was like, you know, I don't want to minimize. There are so many people right now in my studio that are like really like showing me with their behavior that like I impact them, I matter, I influence their decisions, they respect the ways that I influence them, and they actually are consciously choosing to like do more of that. That's like so beyond anything I could ever ask for. It's like so kind, and it's such a thoughtful way to think to court someone like me. Because I think people who really care about me know that lifestyle is very, very foundational for me. I have a very specific call in my life, and it's very selfish for people who are just really like moths to a flame to me to like take up space trying to stay in my camp, when my camp needs to be people who are revolutionaries, not people who are really here to just like fuck on. I was like, I don't have any agenda with this flesh. Like, I'm sorry that you feel so tethered to it, girlies, but I really have a life's purpose, and it's not just to entertain you bitches. You know what I mean? And shit wasn't easy for me. I'm not a child star, you know? I'm a hood rat trying to figure it out. So it's like, you know, I'm not. So I just feel like that's what it is for you, Virgo. It's like I want you to know that you have so many people. You may not even consciously know who they are, but it's like by staying in that cycle with that King of Pentacles frequency where it's just like somebody else. Because I also, just like I said, the problem here is you guys are mismatched. I could take my mom, for example. You know, she has a partner who's Virgo, and that's her issue. My mom really would represent for this partner of hers. Her partner lives in a 1-bedroom apartment. Mind you, he's almost 70. Okay, but she, you know, lives in this giant fucking 5-bedroom ranch home, right? And it's just like, the issue there is like his Virgo ass is always just mad punished because my mom kind of plays that King of Pentacles role in his life, where it would be really good for this man to be like, I'm at an Ace of Cups like place, I'm at a renewal place, I don't really need to keep doing this dynamic where it's just like my cup just gets drinking by because it's like there's just they're never meeting in their cycle, and they're never meeting in their minds about certain things. And so it's like, I just feel like it's so evident how much sacrifice goes on in that like coupleship, you know what I mean? And I just don't want that I don't want that dynamic for any of you, Virgo. I don't. Let's see, babes. This is so good. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. And Virgo, I think it also has to do with your spiritedness. I think a lot of the choices that you're making are like things that your higher power would really support. I feel like also for me, this is really beautiful. Like, I just want to be very clear. Like, I really want to go towards the Hierophant. Like, I really want to go towards like what God has for me. I feel like I'm really on a godly route, and like I think in life you might get presented with a lot of beautiful things. Virgo, you're such an amazing person, and so many people want so many things from you all the time. But there's there's an offer on the table for you that would really honor your purity, and I think that's beautiful because it asks for both of you to be overflowing and primal. There's no boxes on this. This isn't like PG necessarily either. It's just, but it's not sacrilegious. It's not, you know, it's not impure. It's like you can be in your nature. It's not unnatural to you. It's not going to be unnatural to the step you're on. They just completely mirror you. Again, it could be a complementary element, but this makes a wholeness. And I feel like you two come together, and it's like you can make a God particle, just because of the way that God assembled this. God made you guys really complementary parts. Whereas before, I think the dynamic was just like the King of Cups might just really want to buy the most expensive bottle on the shelf. And I think that's you, Virgo. You know what I'm saying? I think you're such expensive goods. I think that it's really easy for a King of Cups to come, or King of Pentacles to come around and be like, how much to get a sip of that? You know? And I think this is one of those moments where you're like, that's flattering, but no. That's going to be your reading. Flattering, but no. I'll wait for the thing that lights my spirit and my soul on fire. I'll wait for the thing God wants from me. I'll wait for the thing that like actually lets me like lead with God. You know, looks like you're gonna be really victorious. I think people want to know, am I really dead ass, or can the dick fucking pimp me out? No, I'm being dead ass. I really love God. Like, I don't need anything from you girls. I don't. What? I'm not the whores you girls deal with. I'm definitely not. That's definitely not what that's not what's going on. I'm a regular bitch drinking blue Powerade. Like I said, if you can't drink a fucking blue Powerade, then what the fuck, dude? We're not gonna work out. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just not gonna work out. I'm not at the Masoni room at the Bibelots. I'm not, it's not where we're at. We're not there. That's what I feel like you're telling me. It's like, that's not where we're at. It's not. Realistically, it's not. You know? And that's okay. It's not a judgment thing. It's just like, don't take Virgo prisoner. Don't do that. Because King of Pentacles definitely knows Virgo's an Ace of Cups. So it kind of pisses you off that you even have to put your cup down to this bitch, because it's like, you're really still trying that? That's how I felt. You're really still trying that? That's how Virgo's feeling. You're still trying that? Trying that whole, I don't know who I am and you don't think I'm aware of this dynamic. You don't think I'm aware that you're keeping me from finding other aces who are all aces. That's what I'm see Virgo. You need to say flattering but no thanks. I'll take my aces. That's what, let me write this shit down. Great. Yeah, that's what you're saying. You're like, that's so flattering, but no thank you. Thank you, no. No booski, no thank you. I'll keep my aces, because you've got a lot of aces on the table. You know what an ace is through this journey, no matter what it's been. Spiritually for you, the initiations you've gone through, I think you know what an ace for you is and what is just somebody wanting to sip out that cup. Let's look at the recent past, Virgie. This is beautiful. Wow, Virgo. And of course, I think that's the thing. This is such a super simple, easy test for you too. In the recent past, Virgo, it's just like you've been really getting to work. And believe it or not, low vibration, high vibration, it doesn't matter. But Virgo, this is about you finally realizing in the recent past that the work that you put in, it should and can amount to supporting how, like, this is basically like a Virgo where it's like when you're really aligned, Virgo, you're doing your passion, your life's work, you're handling the happenings and ins and outs of your life, but it also naturally should temper the people that are for you. So, mind you, Virgo, if in a day, everything that you do, whatever your lifestyle looks like, if in a day you do all this shit and it's like, you're kind of just left with like, it's basically saying like, this is someone whose life is so aligned. It's like when I'm working and doing this, it also fulfills my partner. It's kind of like what you see me in dentistry. You girls see me working 24 hours a day, literally, right? Sometimes you're like, holy shit, this girl's always working, right? She's working. Okay, I'm always working, right? But the beautiful thing is when you're in a partnership that's actually aligned for you, it's funny that like me, like Dennis is working on something completely separate. It has nothing to do with me. It's like Dolphin Boy Records work, right? The beautiful part about that though is when you're in the partnership that God has ordained for you, where it's like two aces, when you're aces for each other, it's like when he works on his work, somehow it's always alchemizing, like somehow temperance is like the divinity is always, it's like his work pours into me. So I feel like that's a really big message for you, because it's like you'll know who and what in your life, because I think what I'm coming on here to help you guys with is to be able to identify which of these things that are presented in your life are what. So when you're talking about who's an ace in your life, the aces, when they do work, the work always amounts back to mixing with you. It's not just like, it's like their work shows that they want to alchemize with you. That's what I'm saying. It's like you said no to something because it's like, yeah, but I've already spun this block before. When you go hard at work, it only benefits you. It doesn't build our partnership. That's how I know I'm not your partner. That's what Virgo is saying. It's like, I know I'm not your partner because either way, whatever you're building, it doesn't serve me. It can be respectable, it can be cool, I'm glad you're going hard, but it's like, if you're trying to ask if you can have Virgo from the work you're doing too, the answer would be no. Because we would have to be compository elements. We would have to be on some, right? Because it's like the divine, I feel like what you learned in the recent past is like when you started really working on your shit, this relationship that's ready for you now, that's like an ace now, that's how it came about. That's what you love about this, is you didn't even have to, you just kept working on yourself and this person came to you instead of working on the relationship and the relationship manifesting. Do you see what I'm saying? It's huge, Virgo. It's another big thing. It's like you're no longer working on the relationship objectively to get it to work. You do the work on yourself thing, because I think what happened was in the past, you either did or didn't, but if you worked on yourself in the past, there's a new relationship now that you didn't even see coming. It's not like, because you didn't do anything consciously to like, oh, hey, I'm trying. You didn't even have to court them. You didn't have to ask them anything. You just kept doing your work. And through the causal realm of the universe and how our laws of attraction actually work, surprise, there you both are. You could be completely different elements. It's a lot of diversity, right? But it's about being at the same place spiritually, being on the same step. You guys will go to the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 5, and you go all the way up, right? The echelon. If you so choose to take this, if you so choose to know how to discern for this. I also have a feeling that this ace is really happy. I think one of the things that makes him very attractive is like the more you put your cup down to things, the more they're like, yes, yes, yeah, fuck those guys, yes. They're thrilled. Because it breeds a hyper specificity. It breeds this choosing. You choose yourself, and then in turn you choose the things that's for you deeply, and they feel that. And I also feel it's like Kundalini. It's like the more you choose yourself, Virgo. So on the contrary, if you never choose yourself and you're still stagnating and you probably would be a Virgo that is stuck in the despondent. I'm letting some King of Pentacles just drink my cup. That doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't grow you. And I'm sorry to say, but whoever the King of Pentacles figure is, they have a lot of soul work to do, because it's not okay to just, I mean, you're a human. It would be one thing if you were like a milkshake, but you're actually a human. So the way that they're slurping you up, it's a special kind of person that doesn't worry about your humanity, right? They're only worried about their consumption. They're not really worried about like, what do I become once you're done drinking your smoothie? Right? No shade. So it's beautiful, but I feel like you put this Ace of Cups and you really say, fuck no, because you're really self-aware right now. And I'm telling you, something is like, because I feel like there's just so much evidence of like a really solid choosing. But I think it's because in the past, this energy was really putting in a lot of work. I feel like this is like a lot of work to distinguishly show, like, it's just like a lot of getting prepared for the shit. They really want to mix with this. They put in a lot of work to be able to do that. And I think the way that you would honor how that was done in the past is like when you show up and you really radically say like, no, I know that this does not go to the King of Pentacles. I don't need anything from the King of Pentacles. This is like how they know that you're not a sellout. This is how you know. This is also like Virgo, you're a spiritual man. So it's like, there are certain things where it's like the priest, the pope, the nuns, they don't take certain offers because it's like, do you guys understand what it means to be a brother of the cloth? I'm not a capitalist. You know what I mean? You have to let people, you have to remind people, it's like, I'm sorry, I really am a spiritual man in person. And I think everybody's going to respect you, Virgo. I know people are respecting me because I'm like, it's not beef. It's just like, I'm not that. You keep trying to make me into a fucking bimbo bitch, and I'm not that. I'm not. And that's what you're saying, Virgo. You're like, I'm not that. I'm this. But yeah, you have got whoever this Ace of Wands influences. I mean, they really, 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 really have created a new beginning for you. And it actually is one that actually fits perfect with the fact that you're saying no to certain things, that you're not offering your cup, your spirit, your spiritual value to anyone. They have this creative new beginning. They've drawn something up, and I think there's just like this energy, Virgo, that they're really excited to like share. Because they've gone to the drawing board about something. And 3 of Swords, the Emperor. So huge. It's just a spiritual initiation. It can be as light or as heavy as you want it to be, Virgo. Like I said, you guys are going to know. But this dynamic is exactly what you're dealing with right now. So again, this is all about you really understanding the 3 of Swords, right? What breaks your heart? There's heartbreak that isn't actually making you bleed. And I think that's one thing that you really learned too. When you were dealing with this Emperor influence, it's like you know, this is also Virgo kind of spiritually maturing, because it's like some stuff really wasn't that heartbreaking. You know what I mean? Some stuff is like really, I'm virtually unscathed. And in fact, it seems like the divine kind of had you in a, you kind of only always got the upper hand. Like, I kind of feel that way. There's a lot of people that fuck with me all the time, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm so good at getting all the shit I want out of my life because I'm so intentional. That like I'm like, I didn't really lose though. I mean, what? Nobody even really made me look bad in that situation. I mean, what do I look bad about? I was in my lane. If anything, they look stupid, right? Like, if anything, it's more impressive that I was a hobo dealing with some of the world's most elite, right? What's their excuse? Fucking with hobos? You see what I mean? When they were rich, yeah, see what I'm saying? Like, that's what they do in their daytime. So I just feel like that's you. In the recent past, you're just like, actually, it was always a cash out young for me. Like, I feel like you feel like, I mean, from my end, it doesn't look bad on my end. It looks like I'm valuable. From their end, they probably questionable. But from my end, I look fine. So I think this is really beautiful, because I just think there's certain things right now that you're realizing. I think you used to think that if you said no to this thing, if you didn't offer your cups to this thing anymore, I think you used to really fear the looming, like, how bad. And it's like, it's a heartbreak, but it's not going to break your heart, and it's not going to stop nothing. In fact, you should probably just let it rip and see. It's not going to do anything to you. In fact, except it's just going to put you in your cloth. It's going to get you. I feel like you just joined the brotherhood. I think you're just like really ready for that. It's like really awesome. This is so beautiful, because I feel like this dynamic also, Virgo, in the near future, it's going to spit you out. You're very clear on who exactly is your soulmate. You're very clear on what a soulmate really is for you. You know exactly what that is. You don't have any clouds around it. You're not confused. You know, because I think this is another big thing. A lot of times when we think about soulmates, we think about what characteristics they have, and that's okay, valid, sure. But actually, the most important thing to think about with soulmates is actually like what you're trying to do in your personal life, and then think about the type of soulmate that would be helping with that. Because there's what we look like and how attractive we can be, but that could just be like a lot of things. Most important thing that's harder to pin down is like who's actually trying to go and end up where I'm trying to end up, because I just think there's not a lot of shared overlap with some of these people that have red flags that don't really have red flags. Because the red flags in this reading, it's not about calling somebody a bitch and being like they're being crazy and scary and schizophrenic. It's like misaligned future. It's like misaligned destiny. It's like what they're here to build. It's like you have to be, this is a very high level ranking, Virgo, because I don't feel like you guys are living trash lives. It's not really something that I can say is like necessarily like overtly like what the fuck. I don't even think people are necessarily dealing with survival. This is more just like misalignment. I don't know what that causes, you know. It's more about like how it's like, yeah, this would be a bad idea. This wouldn't be a soulmate for me, because it's like my spiritual truth is what has to be honored here. You know, I'm not really out here just looking for whatever, because I think your spiritual truth is taking you somewhere, Virgo, you know, somewhere very specific. And I just think you don't need to also add onto your plate like high level partnerships and commitments that are always going to make you fucking, because God put you here just to do your spiritual work, you know, just to evolve your soul. So, you know, love is amazing and partnership can be amazing, but it's not like a necessity either, to tap into that frequency of self-love and to like have God's love poured out on you. So I feel like at the same time, it is just like about knowing that it's like, no, I'm very clear now. I also think that this other energy that you hadn't closed your emotions off to were making it really hard for you to see just how much like someone is like always here. And, you know, I like really like, that's why I'm really like trying to be really urgent. Like a lot of times, like when people really fuck with me a lot because they know I see their stuff. So people just like come up to me and like blatantly lie and be like, oh yeah, I'm about to give you something. And when they, like people know I'll be like looking for like X, Y, and Z answer to some like task I gotta do. And they know that they don't have any other chance of being in my life unless they like come up and fucking bullshit me and entertain my fucking needs at the moment. Because I'm like really vigilant to that. I don't really ever want to make anyone that I genuinely like love and feel really equal to and feel really attracted to like feel like they were some like underdog, like, oh man, I don't like, I feel like there's a little bit of a sense here with like this Ace of Wands, which is not true to what it is at all. This is not a speech about what this person is, but this is kind of like a nice guys finish last thing. Like if you know, and I don't think you'd want to give that, because I feel like this energy is so like diverse and beautiful, but also just extremely equal to you and truly something that would actually, you would feel exactly the same way. It's not a situation of like someone's just pining after you and you don't get it, or like someone's just like really wants you and you kind of like, oh okay, no, this is the opposite. This is like you would pine after that just as much as they would pine after you type of situation, Virgo. So it's like I just don't want you to put someone that you equally would feel just as like whatever about in a situation where it's like, oh, I know you finished last because I wasn't seeing you. Like, no, Virgo wasn't that preoccupied. There was just like bombs and shit detonating over them. Like Virgo's not out here like super shallow. I want to be very clear if you're a non-Virgo watching this. And Virgo's your soulmate. Virgo's not like so shallow. They're not trying to be like into like bullshit at all. I think there's people who are literally going up to Virgo being on some fuck shit, like being on some like weird, like I have a future for you that they didn't have. And that's what was making it difficult. But I feel like it's like Virgo, it doesn't matter now because Virgo's like very clear. Virgo's like, yeah, no. Virgo's like, yeah, no. Yeah, it's karma. Yeah. You walk with karma. Your new beginning, it's new beginning, but it's karmically just, Virgo. I also want to say that I think a lot of you Virgos, I think it's supposed to be that you get back a lot right now at this time, Virgo, but I also want to say that there are some people that unfortunately, it's not even like you had a personal vendetta, but there are some things that like, it looks like Lady Justice is like, no. They want to come towards you and it's like, no. They're not allowed to. So just be prepared for that, Virgo, that like the divine might work through you, through your throat chakra, through your, you know, whatever. And those people just know they know. They know that they just know they were trying it. But God's not, I think, Virgo, I just want to say, like, God's not going to let you be like too nice this time. They don't get like, you're not going to be able to like you can lighten your heart, Virgo, but if someone has really done some karmic shit to you, like, yeah, karma, that's the only reason it's closed. It's not even like, oh, like you're the karma. No. The door is closed. The cup is closed on you because just watch where they're going in like a week. Just gonna let you know. I'm serious, Virgo. Don't worry. A lot of people are dumb as fuck right now and they still don't know God because they're like making plans for stuff that's like going to fucking blow up in their face in a very bad way. Not because they're making a mistake, because they have no idea what's going on, what's coming in the coming months. They have no idea. They don't even know how 2026 is gonna go, Virgo. So don't be too bent out of shape if right now it's almost like God's having you like say no to something right now or like put a cup down, because like just know they have karma. They have bad karma. They tried to fucking fuck around and be like, oh, just try to like be a fool and try to da-da-da. And they may have even changed a lot, but I think I'm almost getting that. I get that this is someone who's really remorseful, but this is someone who did fuck you over in the past, or like they have fucked up karma on their hands. So it's like they've probably transformed, likely, but it's kind of like the same way where you still have to finish your fucking life sentence if you murdered somebody, then that's kind of what they got to do. Like if someone murked you, that's where they're going. Point blank period. So just know that it doesn't really have anything to do with the present moment. It more so has to do with like what their soul's done. Whoa. I will also say, Virgo, and I want you to know that the only reason that I'm reading this for you right now is like karma is handling, there's an offer that was coming to you from a King of Pentacles that karma's like, nay ski. Unfortunately, they want a new beginning with you, but it's not going to be that. It's going to be karma because they have karma. You may not even know why. It's not your job, not your business, but just know that it's closed because karma. Now, juxtaposed to that, they're also probably coming in at a time, the reason the karmas kind of get them is because you actually have this. There's someone, Page of Cups, that's been trying to really, really telepathically, really communicate with you, that's really trying to reach you, really wants you to pay attention to them. They see you. You caught their eye. They're trying to, you caught their eye, but they're playing this role in your life. They're like a Page of Cups and they see you as their lovers. They know that you're for them. This is the other thing I'm trying to say is like, if you're a Virgo that is in the partnership with the King of Pentacles and you're at your Ace of Cups, do you see what I'm saying? God needs you to put your Ace of Cups down to them because someone is already in your cup. They've already looked into your cup. They're not trying to drink it. They see that there's like a fish in there. It's like drinking fish water. Why would somebody drink you and where you stay? Nobody would do that, right? And so this is what I'm saying is like the Page of Cups, but that Page of Cups, see, they choose you. They're the that's what I'm saying. There could be a lot of Virgos right now that it's like you're keeping yourself off of the timeline from the partner that you're actually supposed to be with, that God has for you. That's the whole urgency here. Virgo. And this is what you feared. Virgo, I feel like we've been coming through this for a long time, but one of your biggest, most chronic irrational fears is like the ways that you can be emotionally independent. I think the only reason you would get caught up in a dynamic with a King of Pentacles when you're in an Ace of Cups position is when you're vulnerable emotionally, when you don't know if you're going to be able to be someone who can make yourself feel good about your life on your own. And so that's why you'd really be in a codependent bond, because you really would be like, that King of Pentacles is just going to represent the way that you would outsource your happiness. Someone else needs to be responsible for making you feel better. And that's the only reason you would keep a covenant and a contract like that. But I feel like you've grown, and there's this new water coming to you with all this Aries energy where God's like, it's a new renewal. I'm ready to give you new emotional feelings. And so this is a very simple, quick, it can be a very simple, quick checkpoint. It's like, are we done? Can we put it down, Virgo? Because I don't feel like you need this anymore. You already have your own way of making yourself happy. That's the reason you're able to put this cup up or down depending on who's in front of you, right? Because you're responsible for that now. So if you're here now, you don't need the King of Pentacles to make you happy or to make you feel okay. Because you already went on that long journey of feeling like about getting that out of the mud, about how to do that yourself. Now stuff doesn't really break your heart like it could have or would have, because it's like, it's not bleeding, you know? But I think you really used to fear that. You used to really fear having to be the person that could be responsible for how you feel. But that also, that fear and holding it is the reason why you were never able to get to that 10 of Cups feeling with someone. Let's look at your outcome, Virgo. Virgo, this is crazy. So, here's what I will say. This is an extremely revelatory time. Virgo, there's a lot of revelation coming to you right now. It's probably a lot to where it's like really overwhelming you. I also want to be very sensitive, Virgo. We've got the Moon and the Death card, okay? Virgo, I feel like I also want to hold space. If there are any Virgos that are at the end of their rope because they are in an abusive cycle right now, that has kind of been hidden, there could be a vibration of Virgos that is just like death frequency. This has a lot to do with the Scorpio full moon, so May 1st is kind of a big one for you Virgos, just to keep on your radar. That's when we're filming this. Throw that information out if you're watching this at a different time, and it doesn't matter, but maybe even the next full moon. But there's something about the Scorpio full moon where I do kind of feel like I'm getting an energy here where it's like someone's life force energy can't go any further because of this abusive dynamic. I think it's really weighed on certain Virgos the ability to Virgo, I do kind of I do kind of just see that for you guys. So just be mindful, you know. I'm holding space, but I'm telling you guys at the root of like what's going on here. It's like, it's very important, Virgo, that you understand that. I'm gonna go right to the potty, Virgos. Take a second for yourselves. Seriously? Fuck no.
Sweet.
It's just one of those autistic moments where like I forgot where I was. Like that never happened.
No.
Like literally never, man. It's like able to get any type of any traction in the backside.
Shit. It's just different, bro. It's different right now. Virgo's just got you comfortable.
Virgo's got me fucking in the camera.
Yeah.
That is hilarious as fuck. Well, we're close. Closer than we know.
Maybe your family now.
Not a professional podcast.
Like, it may not even have been audible, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, not in the way that would be like
Like-
super whatever. I just think this is hilarious because I didn't even think about that. It's like it would have been out the window even if it was because I just fucking fucked up the whole stream.
Pure stream of consciousness.
Oh my god, babe. That is fucking funny as fuck, dude.
Funny as fuck, yeah.
Oh, Virgies. This is why you need aces around. Because maybe I did that as a ritual to like rid myself of the niggas who were trying to turn me into a fucking.
I feel like it's like, bro, that's a pure blessing vibration. It's like a,
It's the magical winds.
right, the magical ones of like, purification. Like, you know, like, shit's just blessed. Like,
So anyways, Virgo. Sorry about that, excuse me. But I feel like my aces love that. For me. Okay, Virgies. I want to go in and clarify a little bit with you guys. Because I got so many messages. Let's see. Ace of Cups reversed. What is Virgo saying now to you? Love bombing. Yeah. Seven of Swords reversed. Yeah. You're far too discerning now to be hit with the same deceptive whatever and think that it's like something it's not. It doesn't matter if someone tries to bombard you and do the bomby thing. It's just like 7 swords. It's not gonna make you be unclear. There's a very different frequency though, however, when the Ace of Wands is coming. This is like of the same element, very natural. Like one of these things that you're saying no to would be shoving lies up your ass, right? Like that. This Ace of Wands is like, I would keep trying for you over and over. If they don't see any reason in letting up over time, like this is someone who's just like, if I fucking like your impact, Virgo, on the things that this soulmate that's like really truly like for you, and like really you've caught their eye, you've caught their like their spirit, their essence. It's like very much you've caught their focus. It's like for them, it's just been like, I think a lot of it has a lot to do. It's very fiery energy, but it's like it is kind of that like over time like sustained loyalty. Like they've had enough evidence that it's like, yep, it doesn't really change at all over time. Never does. Never does. Never does. Whereas this other energy, I feel like they're trying not to steal from themselves anymore, right? By tapping into your energy, right, Virgo? But that's kind of a them thing. That's still kind of using people because they see you as something that can help them to stop being so pat on the wrist, but it has nothing to do with whether or not they're for you or not. It's about how you are for them. And I just think maybe in their head that they can't even fathom that. It's like, okay, I think they're just not, that energy is just not, they think you're lying. They think you're like, how? No, I know if you're for me, then it must be for you. It's like, no, it's literally not though. Because again, it's like the too many Virgos in that dynamic where it's like, you get chose. But are you even getting chose then? Or are you actually just being like manipulated on like a large scale? You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, okay, it's one thing to be like, I don't know, he worked on me over time. But then at some point, it's like you are just kind of like lying to yourself. You know, if you weren't ever naturally attracted to something, you know what I mean? Type of frequency, Virgo. I just feel like that's what it gives. I feel like one of the options you were naturally attracted to. The other, it's like its pursuit of you was attractive maybe. But that doesn't actually change like what's there. you know? And I think at this time you've gone through enough cycles to know that. Like, you've gone through enough cycles to be like, yeah, well, if it came back around again, it's like, I'm just gonna look at the thing. Instead of like what your pursuit is, I think you also have a lot of boundaries up. I think you have a lot more boundaries in place right now that help so that when they come back in, you don't get the speed. It's not about rushing in. It's not about all the hullabaloo. You're able to just see where they're at, and it looks like they're still here. It looks like what's changed. Okay, so it's Wednesday. That's how I feel like Virgo's like, okay, so what's evolved? Whereas this other energy was an Ace of Wands. It's every time you see it, it's always an Ace of Wands. It's always like a Kundalini rising over time. It's always been that like that from the start. Right? When considering like where to invest. And I think this other energy really, really has wanted to invest in you for like a long time. And I think this thing is really about aligning its personal energy. It's very aligned. This other energy that like really I feel like wants to be a soulmate, it's like it's very aligned. It knows exactly, like it knows itself, and it just wants to keep it aligning itself to show you that it like really fits really well with what you're doing. And they want you to know that you might, I think also Virgo, you might feel weird because you're like, oh my God, here I go being schizo. I do this all the time. Sometimes when I have to like put my boundaries up or I have to like communicate boundaries, I always just feel like, I'm always just like, you guys hear it in my voice. I'm like, I already know you girls all hate me, so whatever, but I gotta say what I'm gonna say. But it's actually like, there's like, it's not all the girls that hate me. Actually, no one hates me. Even the bitches that I'm talking about, they don't even fucking hate me. The real reality is like, actually people really love when I put up my Ace of Cups though, because it's just like, I might think of it as like a negative thing, but it's actually for the things that I'm for, it's like perfectly aligned. It's like, yes, great. Because I just think this thing is so steadfast and like its applied application over time that it really, really could use any kind of encouragement you can give or spare, because I think it's just stepping out on its truth and its natural like vitality and connection to itself to keep pursuing the fact it's just like you, it's like attracted. It's like I'm just very attracted. It's like a lot of facets, like a lot. And I think there's two different stories that these two energies would say. This type of energy is going to be like, dude, I'm sorry for like the ways that maybe it felt like in the past, because I feel like you've had to put your cup down, but I think there's gonna be two different types of putting your cup down. There's putting your cup down to like the Seven of Swords reverse, which is just like, okay, you're just deceptive, brother. I've never gotten truth. And then there's the other people where it's like they're trying to manage how much you make them feel, and this is a way more flattering frequency for you, Virgo. You know, it's way more flattering, the other one, because one of them, the one thing they would tell you is like, oh, because I feel like there's heartbreak across the board in terms of like you be navigating heartbreak, but not every heartbreak is the same. Not every heartbreak makes your heart bleed. I think both of these parties have possibly broken your heart, but you have to be at this time, like you have to understand who's going to have your renewal though. Your renewal is going to come from this Ace of Wands, Eight of Wands, sub Eight of Wands, because they broke your heart because you make them feel so much, not because they were actually hiding stuff from you. One person is being shady and shifty and had other shit going on and didn't really know and couldn't really decide. One person, that was not, the other person, that's not what was happening at all. The only thing that was happening was like how overwhelmed their energy felt naturally. It was like out of body for them. This other energy wouldn't even dream. There's not another there's nothing else in the view. It's just directed at you. This thing looks like I got all this shit on my plate, and that's why I couldn't be honest with you. I think either way, the thing that Virgo, I want you to have good self-esteem. Both of these energies are moving from the same feeling, right? Which is like you should be aware that your energy does the same thing. But the only problem is like one of them, it's not their whole path. That's not even what I really say. It's actually the same thing happening for both energies, but one is karmic and one is aligned for your future. Because one hasn't cleared this out, and one is like, I feel like never had it to clear, never had anything to clear. Ironically, when it came to how they feel about you, not in their life and in the blah, 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 I'm just talking about like when it came to how like they feel about you. I just think there are things that they're not, one of them is not looking at everything completely honestly. Because one of them, I think both of them really want the answer to be like, pick me, Virgo. But I feel like this one isn't really looking at themselves honestly. It's like, is this person, I feel like you're moved by a high desire, but it's like, you don't really, like, there's aspects of this where it's like, well, are you glazing over where things aren't really aligning, or where things aren't really the same, or where you don't really want the same things? Whereas I feel like this person does not have to deal with any of those, like, oh, we may not like the same things, or I might live a different lifestyle, we might vote differently, or we might, like, have a different diet. It's like, no. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like, unfortunately, Virgo, you are having to put your cup down to, I feel like you committed already to the person that was, like, 7 of Swords reverse. Which means, like, they're not really fully they haven't really done their full love journey yet. Like, they don't really know themselves that well. Because I actually think, Virgo, the difference actually here, too, isn't even that one person is, like, super different than you and they're glazing over it. I actually think one person just hasn't done the literal self-work to let go of things that aren't authentic for them. And so you'd be stuck in a paradigm, Virgo, always, like, telling this person, like, you still participate in something that isn't even authentic to you. But they haven't let that go yet. And so then it's like, that's not going to be as fun as the relationship where it's like they don't have, it's all systems go with this other energy. Let's clarify the Hierophant. Yeah. Because you want to marry spirit. And I think it's important for you to come out and say that. I don't want to live a demonic life. Virgo, you want to live a pure spirit-led life. That is totally okay. Because I just feel like somebody is like not, I think this is like a case of like, it's not a better person. It's just like this is like, Virgo's like, I don't actually like the strip club. You know, I don't actually want to, like, that's not actually what I would realistically do. It's like that kind of thing. It's not a judgment situation, but it's like, you know, what you consider, what you want at the center of a union, let's just say, is just very different. And it's like, there's 2 different types of people. You can build basically, what I want to say is your life has to be a spirit-led covenant. It has to be you and Source locked in purely. So you just want to make sure you're picking from being self-aware. Like, I know that that's what my destiny has to be. I'm going to end up here, right? It's like me. It's like, I'm going to end up behind the pulpit. I got to pick the person that's really going to make the most sense for that. Because it's not a good or a bad thing. You can make any choice. It's not even like the other person's like a bad thing. It's just about what you're going to go on to do that matters the most. It's like what you're actually going to choose to do with your life force. That makes the difference. And that's kind of what made the despondent depression that you might be feeling too as Virgo. Just because I think you might be kind of looking at God like, how did this marriage end up that bad? Or or how come this job's soured? Or how come this contract isn't working? Or how come these friends and I fell out? And it's like, because Virgo, the only place where you would see that this partnership, that's the 7 of Swords reverse, was stealing from yourself or something of the sort, is genuinely it's like genuinely just in the ways yeah. This isn't, like I said, it's not a Brokeback Mountain thing. It's literally just in the ways where it's like, I'm not having that attraction. I'm not doing that. I'm not ending up the same. I'm not going to be ending up in the same place. I have to honor, it's because it's like a long-term investment. It's like, who's the partner that will end up going and doing this? And again, you can cash out y'all in a really big way if you actually are good at doing stuff like that. Because look, Virgo, in your recent past, you were so taken over, right? By like, I also want to say, Virgo, this is a huge come up story. There might be a lot of Virgos out there who it's like, when you had nothing, you like stumbled upon, you like made your life's work kind of like in a situation where it's like, I ain't have much, but then it's like, you get what I'm saying? Because I feel like this Ace of Cups, it's almost like you're getting a renewal and you're attracting in something immediately back to you. Like, people don't even care. They don't even have any pride. They're like, I'm actually coming right back, because it's like, it worked. I feel like there's something miraculous that happens. Like, you should not have been able to recover from 5 of Pentacles and come out like this. But Virgo, you like worked it. And that's why you have all these milkshakes in the yard. You know what I mean? Virgo, this is beautiful. You're taking active heartache and you're putting a fork in it. It's done. We don't even need to teeter-totter back and forth about letting this break my heart. Virgo, you put the Ace of Cups down. No, because I'm already mixing with something else. Virgo's like, I'm already mixing with something else. I'm already mixing with my aces. That's why this was really easy. It's also kind of why it's like, this is kind of your look back. I think you don't even think about it this way, but it kind of was your look back. That was your moment. I think you don't even think you had your moment, but you had your moment. Where it's like, you got your look back. I think whoever played you got played right back in the exact same fashion. Dude, Virgo, you're killing it. You need both of these queens, these feminine principles. This is very active discernment. Spiritual truth and emotional truth. Those are the two things that are more your speed. When you're assessing if someone has the capacity to be sustainable for you, do they match your Queen of Cups and your Queen of Swords? Because those two are going to be showing up for you from here on out, Virgo. And I think it's going to be Ace of Cups immediately down to anyone who like can't understand or can't realize sorry. Let's check out the Justice card. Yeah. Yep. Uh-oh, somebody's in their beds crying because you're completely independent. I think someone wanted to test it one last time to see if Justice was playing with them, and Justice is not playing with him. This isn't even your fault, Virgo. You didn't even like really call in this kind of like putting your cup down. I think this is very much more about what the universe communicates to this person. Like, you might have thought what you said was rude, but the universe really, really is the one who's really saying what needs to be said right now. In terms of like, because you're really just saying like, nope, I'm independent. Nope, I've already sourced it myself. I don't have to go back on like codependency with you. And I think they're getting their karma, feeling just as pitch black in their soul as you did when you were dealing with them. This is so beautiful. And then the person who's like super in love with you is like really fucking doing their damnedest. They really fought fucking hard to be able to be in the position of the Knight of Wands to come run towards you. But that's what happens. They just had the faith. I think there was something in their spirit that was just like, I just know maybe this is like for me type of shit. That's why they have this like unrelenting like fervor. Wow. I also feel like there's something really funny happening here. You used to maybe fear your ability to make yourself happy. And then I think somebody really recently, Virgo, like did a really big display. And I think it was like their attempt at like, that was like their proposal. And it didn't like actually make you happy like that. Like it didn't really make you feel that much. So I think that what you feared, you know, if you were to actually have faced it, maybe you haven't faced it, but if you were to have actually faced it, Virgo, somebody would have rushed in and told their truth, and they would have tried to invest, and then it would just been like a tower. And I feel like it just spits you out knowing like who really is for you. I'm really excited because by the Scorpio full moon, Virgo, you're gonna be ready to go. You're going to be the Queen of Pentacles, ready to go. You're going to be like face to face with, I feel like it's like a big revelation, because it was just such a transformative process for you to get to this place with this energy that initially like really has always like been just like super overwhelmed by like what you do to them. And I think they have so many like yeah, they just want to like share that with you. And I think they're really, really happy that like, I think everybody's feeling that. I think this karma, this non-choice had like, I think that was always on the table. I think everyone was a little worried because they knew, I think there's a lot of people that could have wanted your offer, Virgo, you know. And the one that's really for you knew there was like only a matter of time, and they were really praying that you wouldn't, like, that someone else wouldn't be able to come and like super impress you off the boots down. But they can't, they aren't going to. And that's what I'm saying, is like, you did an Ace of Cups, like someone did their big one and they know, but it's like you weren't impressed by it. It was a King of Pentacles, and you're a Queen of Pentacles. So that's what I'm saying, it's not mismatched, it's not off that like this King of Pentacles is like shooting a shot. You're just at an Ace of Cups place. That's why it's like, I have to deal with the fact that God just gave me an Ace of Cups. It's not just like what it's not, because I have to be able to work with God's utensil properly, you know what I mean? And so it's no shade, no tea, but it's like, that's kind of where you're at. And so this person that really, really has been trying to manage how much you make them feel more than anything, not trying to lie on you, not trying to fucking stick around, just really trying to deal with like their body, really reacting and telling them a lot about who you are and what you mean to them. I think they're just so blown away, because they're just like, holy shit, you're like not impressed? Thank God. Thank God you're not impressed by the fucking materialism. Because I think this other energy didn't think they had a chance, because they don't, like, they just feel like they can create a whole universe with you. They just want to create nonstop with you. It's just like, but it's not like, I think they never felt like they were enough, because they know what you're worth, Virgo. They know you could sit up in a fucking castle and have somebody fucking wine and dine you. But it's like, you know, that's what I was saying. I was like, nice guys finish last, because I feel like that's what you're dealing with. I think the nice guy in the situation, genderless, but the nice person in the situation feels like they were going to finish last, because like they know that Virgo is like such a high quality person. They're like up against like big rackades, and so then they're sitting over here like, oh, I don't know if I'm enough, I'm gonna try to I you know. And I think it really means a lot to them, because it's like they may have also been really trying to figure out how to like make enough for you materially, because they know like who and what you can pull in. But then it's like seeing how you respond to the mirrors, like seeing that you're actually Virgo, seeing that you're actually like a nun for real, that you're like the fucking material realm, huh? Like, it's just so gangster. It just makes you really unique, Virgo, because you don't, that's not what you want. You are so over them. You've already seen it, you've already had it. You actually really want like the spiritedness, you know what I mean? The intuitiveness of it all. So I'm really excited for you, Virgos. Let's get one last card to close out. Well, congratulations, Virgo. I think by the Scorpio full moon by May 1st, I think you're just gonna be really happy to be face to face with something. I feel like this thing is really excited to devour your frequency. I think you're gonna really meet their energy of like fighting really hard to come out on top for that moment, to like reveal themselves like it's me, like I'm so serious. And then you're meeting that with like such a perfect, like, good thing I've saved all my cups for you. I think it's just going to be really, really enriching. And this is something that God has really blessed for you, Virgo. And I'm excited. I don't know. I don't even care. I just kind of fucking freestyled on that beat. So, yes. But that's our message for you guys. Remember, flattering, but no thanks. I'll stick with my aces. That's your vibe. I love you guys so much. This has been so fun. Let's see how April goes. Kick ass.